Hey guys. Okay, as I told you yesterday, we are moving on to the next chapter after main ideas, which is supporting details. Now, like I said yesterday, supporting details, it's not this like brand new thing. It's pretty much the next step after main ideas. It's very closely related. Um, take all the skills that you learned from finding the main idea and carry it with you to this chapter. Um, so we have talked about the main idea as this umbrella idea, right? And the main idea is the umbrella part, where the supporting details are what supports the main idea. It's what holds it up. It's what, makes it, it's what proves it and explains it. So we know the main idea is the author's general point, but now we're going to focus on supporting details. And what supporting details are any kind of evidence, such as examples, causes, reasons, facts, statistics, any kind of evidence that supports the main idea. And then I wanted to show you a different way to look at it from like a table perspective. Um, And again, supporting details are reasons, examples, facts, statistics, or other kind of evidence that explain or support a main point. So you got this point on the top, and the support is the legs, right? That's what holds it up. So you need strong supporting details to really hold up the paragraph to make it work. All right, so for right now, we're not gonna talk about minor supporting details quite yet. So for now, I'm just gonna say the word major supporting details. And when I say that, I mean what are if it says here are three ways um to get to school, then I'm just looking for the three main ways. I don't need all the little details, just the three main ways. It could be like biking, going on the bus, and walking, right? So let's see if we can figure out the major supporting details here. First, let me read this. Certain basic fears are part of our lives. For one thing, we fear being disrespected. Bullies play on this fear. They cruelly tease their victims and take away their self-respect. And we feel hurt and disrespected when someone doesn't return our phone calls or walks past us without saying hello. Another of our deepest fears is being alone. No matter how tough we act, we know that the poet who wrote "No Man is an Island" was telling the truth. We need each other. Not having other people in our lives makes us feel empty inside. A third basic fear is of growing old. Every year, Americans use plastic surgery to try to turn back the clock. And our magazines and TV shows and movies are full of beautiful young people. We do not want to be reminded that the clock keeps ticking. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that the main idea is sentence one. Certain basic fears are part of our lives, right? It has those list words in it, certain basic fears, right? So what are the major details? So I'm just looking for what are the three fears. There's a lot of little details in this passage, right? I'm just looking for the three major details. So for one thing, we fear being disrespected, right? And then the next couple sentences sort of explain that. And then what's the next way the next fear we have? I'm going to go down to where it says another of our deepest fears is being alone. And then for the last one, I'm going to go down to where it says a third basic fear is of growing old. So you put that all together, and our supporting details are what are the three fears that this passage talks about? One, the fear of being disrespected. Two, the fear of being alone. And three, the fear of growing old. And do you see how each major detail is kind of introduced with a word, like a transition word that tells us this is the next major detail. For it, so it says, for one thing, we fear being disrespected. Another, right, and then the last one, a third basic fear. So those are words you want to keep an eye out for. And don't worry, I will absolutely emphasize this over and over and over. So let's look at another one, shall we? And again, we're just looking for the major supporting details. My wife and children love our dog Punch, but I have several reasons for wanting to get rid of him. First of all, Punch hates me. Every time I walk him, he gives me an evil look and curls his top lip to show his teeth. The message is clearly, someday I'm going to bite you. Another reason to get rid of Punch is his shedding. Every surface in our house is with white Punch hair. I spend more time brushing it off my clothes than I do mowing the lawn. Finally, Punch is an early riser, while I am not. Even on weekends, he starts barking and whining to go outside at 7 a.m. Somehow or other, I seem to be the only family member that hears him. When I told my family that I had a list of reasons for getting rid of Punch, they said they would make up a list of reasons for getting rid of Dad. All right, so again, the first sentence is your main idea, right? My wife and children love our dog Punch, but I have several reasons for wanting to get rid of him. All right, so again, I think there's only three major reasons he gives, right? Three major reasons. The first major reason is, first of all, Punch hates me. And then sentence 3, sentence 4, he explains why Punch hates him. The next major detail, I'm looking at sentence 5. Another reason to get rid of Punch is his shedding. And then sentence 6 and 7 go ahead and explain that, or talk about that a little more, the shedding. And then the last one, it says, finally, Punch is an early riser, while I am not. And then the rest of the passage talks a little bit more about Punch waking up super early. So those are your three main ideas, right? I'm sorry, your three main major supporting details. So put that together. Main idea, I have several reasons to get rid of Punch. Punch hates me. Punch sheds. And Punch wakes me up early. And again, if you look at the beginning of each of these sentences, there are keywords that signal this is a major detail. First of all, right, Punch hates me. Another reason, right, that's another transition word, another. And then last one, finally. So with the last major detail, sometimes you'll see finally, sometimes you'll see lastly or last. So these are just words you want to absolutely keep an eye out for when you're looking for the major supporting details. All right, one more, and then I will let you work on your own. And this is a passage that is used a lot in this book, but now is a good time to use it and not so much look at the main idea, but more so the major details. School bullies have been around as long as there have been schools. Studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies. Research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor. Bigger, more aggressive children are more likely to try to dominate their smaller, quieter peers. Another factor linked to bullying is overexposure to violent TV programs. By the time the average American child is 10 years old, he or she has watched thousands of acts of violence, including assault and murder. Such exposure can lead to aggression and violence. Finally, exposure to real violence is a factor in bullying. Studies indicate that victims of bullies often turn into bullies themselves, Studies indicate that victims of bullies often turn into bullies themselves. Whether abused by family members or tormented by other kids, bullies typically learn their behavior from others. Look closely into the eyes of a bully, and you may be looking into the eyes of a former victim. All right, so this time, main idea is sentence 2, right? Studies reveal several reasons why some children become bullies. Again, there's a lot of little details here. I'm just looking for the 3 major details. There are 3 here. First one, research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor, which sort of tells you this is the first reason, right? Then I'm looking at sentence 5. Another factor linked to bullying is overexposure to TV programs. And then sentence 6 and 7 go ahead and talk more about how kids watch TV, violent TV, or bullies have been linked to violent TV. And then the last major details, I'm looking at sentence 8. Finally, exposure to real violence is a factor in bullying. And then sentence 9 and 10 and 11 talk more about how bullies are often exposed to real violence. Put those all together, and the several reasons why some children become bullies are a certain combination of size and personality, overexposure to violent TV programs, and exposure to real violence. And again, if you look at the sentences, research shows that a certain combination of size and personality may be one factor. And then down here, another factor. So you have another keyword there. And then finally, exposure to real violence is a factor in bullying. So you really want to be on the lookout for those keywords that signal this is a major detail. And like I said, I will absolutely keep emphasizing this, and I will go over this in more detail myself. But for now, let's see how you do. Just try your best. Please go to today's folder and complete the assignment, supporting details, exercise number 1 in Schoology. Please reach out to me if you are confused or you have any questions whatsoever. Good luck, guys.